Hello, hello, hello. This is Robin from Roaming with Rover, and this is Finish It Friday. Well, what are we going to talk about? Finished items. I don't think I have anything finished. I'm trying to think. I have been working on setting up the RV as a craft room, and that's where I've been spending all of my time. Between that and setting up in here, setting up the store, which I don't really have anything new and nifty to show you in here. Still trying to get the displays. Still trying to get the displays set up and ready for you. There's an ambulance. We do get a lot of sirens through here. Sirens and trains, we have a lot of those through here. So still trying to get the displays set up in here, so I still don't have anything pretty to show you. But as soon as we do, I will be very excitedly showing you that. I have been diligently trying to get the ice yarn stuff set up get it ordered and set up for you to see. It's tricky working with them for stuff like that because there's a language barrier and there's a severe time difference. And I'll send them an email, and then it's 2 days before I get a response, and I get about half of my questions answered. So it's tricky working with that. But when it's ready, it'll be ready. You'll be the first to know. You will be the first to know with that. So I am working on that still. But setting up the RV it's been fun. I'm amazed at how many little things that I have as I'm going through boxes and bins and bags and all of that kind of stuff. Because, I threw away gobs and gobs and gobs of stuff when I cleaned out the RV. And as I'm putting things into the RV, I'm going through bags and bags and bags again, because I'm trying not to put away anything that I have not gone through. And there are boxes that I'm like shoving into closets and shoving into corners. And most likely I will at some point pull those boxes out, and maybe you and me together, if that's something you'd be interested in doing, we'll pull a box out, we'll just go through it and see what we've got in there, because I kind of peeked in there and go, oh yeah, this is that, and just shoved it over there. Some things I knew exactly what was in those boxes and I put them in there. I'm getting chilly. Some things I knew exactly what was in the boxes, and I marked on the box what I knew it was, and I put that in there. And but some things I'm like, oh yeah, I think this is that. And I stuck it in there, but it's probably not entirely that. So that might be a process one day we'll have to do. We'll just grab a bin and go through it and make a list and write on the list. And I did that when I put the stuff in the shop. I did do that. I made a list, all the bins that are out there, I've got written on the outside what's in it. And that's nice, because then I'll go out there and go, oh yeah, I've got this out there. So that's important. That's important to do. So we do have that. And now I'm going through all the little containers and boxes and bins and wiping everything down. Pins, oh my Lord. I have at least 100, maybe more, different kinds of pins and markers and things. So that was good. And I found some things. I found some blocking pins that I did not know were out there. Well, they weren't out there. Where were they? Where were those containers? Did I take them? I don't even know where they were. I don't even know, did I take them out of there and take them into the house and then take them back out there? I might have. I don't even know. Couldn't even tell you. So anyway, now I know where they are, and everything's all cleaned up, and I'm finding spots for everything. When it is done, and it's getting very close to being done, it will be, I was going to say tidy. It'll be organized. It's not going to be pretty. We see these walkthroughs of people's craft rooms, and they're very pretty. And we have all the walls of yarn, and everything is all color coordinated. And we have all this kind of yarn here and that kind of yarn there. And it's in rainbow, or mine's not gonna be like that for a couple of reasons. Number one, I still do not feel like it is clean enough out there to store my yarn, especially my good yarn. It's going to hold my whips, the stuff that I'm currently working on, and maybe the next stuff. It is going to hold, I've got notions, I've got bags and boxes of stuff that's going to be, everything that I had stacked up in the living room and the dining room is nice and neat in the motorhome. I have a few things that were stored in my bedroom, but the yarn wall is staying in my bedroom. It is the weirdest thing out there. I just cannot get rid of all of the dust and the silt. It's just working its way back up. I don't know what's going on, but that's the reality. So I'm not going to have the beautiful, pretty craft room that people think of when they think of a pretty, done up craft room. Like all of this pretty display. That's not going to be a thing. My books and my patterns, all of that stuff can be stored out there. And, you know, things that can be sealed inside of something. Even the boxes, I've got stuff in bags and then inside of the box. So hopefully that will keep stuff nice and clean, or clean enough. Hopefully. So there's that. And then we'll go from there. We'll go from there and see what happens. I do like having this space cleared out of the living room. It is so much nicer. It is so much nicer. Okay, so past that, what have I gotten to work on? I have got to work on a few things. This is the shawl that we're going to be doing the make along. Okay, this is my shawl, my very first design. I love it. I love the way it turned out. This is 6 feet long, which is exactly the size that I wanted because, oh, here comes a heater. I wanted a shawl, and it still has some stitch markers and things in it. But I wanted a shawl that I could wrap around myself and have it actually wrap around myself. See, now that's a nice wrap. If I'm chilly, I can put this thing around me and warm up. Now that's going to keep me warm. If it was shorter than that, it would not have wrapped around me. And this is what I wanted. I wanted something to go around me. Okay, it is about 16 inches wide. Yeah, from here to here. Here to here is about 16 inches. And it's a nice width. It is a nice width. If I'm sitting somewhere and I did want to do the full wrap, get a hold of it. If I just want to do the shoulder wrap, and if I just want to go like this, it's a nice size just for that. It's perfectly fine just for that. I've seen some people do this, although I've not done this before, but I've seen some people do this. And maybe if I'm just sitting and watching TV, I might do this where oh, yeah, well, there's me knocking stuff over. I've seen people do this kind of a thing. And I might do that if I'm just sitting and watching TV. Yeah. And it's going to stay on even doing that. But the other thing is I can double it and just throw it across my lap. And I'll tell you, even while I'm working on it, I kind of do that, double it over and have it sitting in my lap. So I love this. Very, very easy to do. Very easy to work with. It didn't break. But let me show you what I knocked over. I can't even keep a hold of it. A jar full of buttons. We've got all these cute little doodads sitting around here. So I'll clean that up. No problem. but I'll give you a close-up look of it. Isn't that pretty? I like the design a lot. I use the iris stitch. This is the iris stitch through here. And if you're making this, you can also do it this way, go crossways and make it up like this. Because a lot of people do not like, you know, if you're not a blanket maker, this whole long row 6 feet wide might be overwhelming for you. So you can absolutely do it like this way and work it up like this. That's something you can choose to do. And I will show you how to do that. When you join in on our make along, I will absolutely show you how to do that. So the yarn that I used and that I recommend for this, and all of the numbers that I will give you during the make along, is using this Anthem DK from Cascade Yarns. The DK, it's a 3-weight. I used 4 skeins to make that, and I had plenty left over. 4 skeins. This happens to be called Bachelor Button, this pretty blue. I had 8 grams left over, which it was a nice wad. Oh, it's over there. In fact, I'll show you. Hold on. Hold on. I can show you exactly how much I had left over. So you can see, yeah, I had this much, so you're not gonna run close to being short. And I used the Furls 5.5 eye hook. I started with a smaller hook and it felt too stiff. I wanted it to have a lot of movement, so I moved up to a larger hook. So that's coming up. And we're also doing that as a crochet along on Sundays. You don't have to follow along with us weekly. It's not that kind of a thing. We're just throwing it out there and do it at your own pace. We're also doing a knit along. Miss Cheryl from Yumi and Yarn, I think it's called. I have to get the exact name of it. She's created the most beautiful knit pattern. Oh my gosh, it's stunning. And it is created by her. She swears that if you are a new knitter, you're going to be able to do this. I'm a little nervous, but she's going to hold our hand and walk us through this thing. So even if you're a new knitter, you should be able to. And I'm quite excited about it. But like here, as an example, this is one little chunk of it. Isn't that just so pretty? So pretty. And so we're going to be doing this at the same time. So if you want to knit, you've got a project. If you want to crochet, you've got a project. Either way. She is going to be doing some how-to videos. You won't need that with mine. Absolutely. This heater, so loud. You absolutely will not need how-to videos with mine. So make sure you pop in on Sunday mornings. Right now it's Sunday mornings, that might change. Make sure you pop in on Sundays to see how that goes. That's going to be our make along for that. So I've been super busy with that. Finally. The hashtag spring square swap from Dana. I have all of my squares in the mail, and I've gotten many of them back. I think I've only got 1 or 2 left to get back. I know for sure we were talking with one lady who hasn't mailed hers yet. But other than that, I think there's 2. And so once I get them all back, I was thinking of just as they came in, connecting them, but I decided not to do that. So I'm just waiting for them all to come in, and then I'm going to lay them out and see how they look best, and then figure out how I'm going to connect them, because I have to figure that out too. If I'm going to put some kind of a border on and then connect them all together, and I might do that, like a single crochet border and then connect them all together. That might be one way of kind of connecting them all together. We'll see. And then I started something because we had a birthday. We had a little grandbaby have a birthday, and I wanted to make her a little summer dress. And I was digging around looking for patterns. I thought it would be a quick little summer dress. It may not be. But I found this pattern I thought it would be kind of fun to do, and it was a free pattern, so I can show it to you. This is the pattern. Isn't that cute? And it's different. I don't even know if it has a name. I found it on Ravelry. Okay. It was originally done in Swedish. It was translated to English. It's a little tricky because sometimes there's row numbers, sometimes there's not. The count doesn't always match up. The instructions are not super clear. I'm really not sure what I'm supposed to be doing part of the time. A few times I have contacted Dana and said, and both of us are like, So I am not, I was going to say I will put the pattern down below, but I'm not going to. The yarn that I'm using, and I'm enjoying this yarn. It's kind of nice. It's a little splitty. I was going to say it's a little splitty, but that's not even fair. I mean, because it's just the tiniest bit splitty. It is Premier Garden. It is the color Water Lily. It is beautiful. It is really pretty. It is also discontinued. So I really took it out on a limb here to use this because this was a kit that I got, I don't know when. It was a shawl kit that I got, no idea when. No idea when. It's a pretty shawl. I don't know if I bought the shawl kit or if it was one of those of the month kind of things. Who knows? But it came with 3 skeins of this. 3 skeins. And each skein has 284 yards. It's a 3-weight machine wash, tumble dry, which is one of the reasons I picked this. But I grabbed 3 or 4 different kinds of yarn, and when I was doing my gauge, I could not meet gauge with any of the yarns that I had grabbed. And so I saw this in the drawer and I'm like, this looks more like what the lady had used, because all of the yarns that she had suggested with this pattern were not yarns that we have. They're all Swedish type yarns. Couldn't find anything that would work. So this made gauge. So I'm using this, and I really, really hope that I have enough. So that's what I'm working on. And it works, you work it up sideways. So we're working this way. But the one, and I'm using my, I had started with a hook that I got in one of my Crochet Society boxes, and I was not loving it, and I could not find my clover hook in this size. I actually went and bought another one because I was being frustrated with the pattern and being frustrated with the hook. Couldn't deal. And so when I picked up my new hook, it is making things go much better. But this is where I am so far. So this is how the dress will be. You crochet this, which is the tie, and then this is the dress. Oh dear, have I messed that up? Nope, I don't think so. Okay. And then this is the little eyelet design at the bottom of the dress. And we're going this way across. So I love the way the yarn is working up. It's really pretty. The colors are gorgeous. It feels very, very nice. And I hope it works. So the one part of the pattern that is throwing me is you get to, so this is double crochet, skip one, double crochet. This, from here to here, you are doing a double crochet back loop only. This is half double crochet and this is single crochet. Pretty simple, except in the pattern, you'll get to a certain row and you're kind of repeating this row and this row. You're just repeating those two rows quite a bit. And then all of a sudden it'll say, note, do not work through back loop only at the beginning of row 3. Well, you do row 3 over and over and over and over, but she has quit numbering the rows. So it's, you're repeating these two rows a certain, like 10 times or 8 times or 6 times, depending on what section you're in. So I don't know if we're supposed to do that every time we do this row 3, or just the first time we do row 3 in the repeat, or I don't know what she wants me to do. Because if you look at it in here, she's obviously doing that back loop because you can see the little bumps all the way on the dress. It is very much not clear. And the first time I didn't do it, you couldn't tell, and there was no reason not to when you got to the next row. I'm just going to keep doing it. In fact, you can see right here. You can see right here. This is the row where we didn't do it. And I think it looks funny, because you can't tell if you're just supposed to do it for a couple of stitches or if you do it for the whole row. Yeah, I have no idea why she would want us to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to do the back loops only through the whole thing, because there's no reason at the beginning of row 3. Do not work through back loop of stitches at the beginning of row 3. And I've looked through the thing on the website and it doesn't give any reason for it. So, you know, it's just one of those things. I don't know. But you can definitely tell that you didn't do it there. So, no clue. No clue. So anyway, I like the dress. I like the color of the yarn I picked. I really, really, really hope I have enough yarn, because you can't get any more. And it'll be one of those things where I'm going to end up on eBay paying $15 for one skein of yarn if I run short. And I've done that before. So, but I think we're going to be fine. So anyway, that's it. That's what I'm working on. That's where I'm at. Wish me luck on this dress. And let me know what you guys think. I would love to know what you guys are working on. And we will talk to you soon. Hey, we have a name for the store now. We've got a website. We almost have a website. It is very, very close to being up, but it is, so for the yarn store portion, it is www.bigfootyarns.com. If you guys want to get anything, if you want any of the yarn for this, if you're looking for the DK, you can contact me and I can get that to you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.